Bonkers crazy pants. This cannot be real, y'all. Bonkers crazy pants. This is Politico. This is not The Onion. This is how they are describing what is going on in the Trump administration. Bonkers crazy pants. How did we get here? We are so unserious as a nation. This cannot be the leadership that y'all said was going to make America great again. This cannot be the leadership, because how are we at a place where somebody is calling this administration and these actions bonkers crazy pants? All right, so let's get to this article. It says, Bonkers crazy pants. American diplomats shaken by reports of possible cuts. A purported executive order calls for slashing State Department offices and bureaus and overhauling how diplomatic postings work. U.S. diplomats were shaken and even panicked during the weekend as a document purporting to be a draft executive order that would radically reshape the State Department circulated and boosted their fears of massive job cuts. Secretary of State Little Marco Rubio dismissed the reports of the documents as fake news, but the jitters underscore how alarmed many are about the lengths the Trump administration will go to reshape the State Department as a part of the so-called efficiency drive. The document calls for eliminating scores of traditional State Department offices and bureaus and overhauling how Foreign Service postings work, among other changes. It would eliminate the regional bureau devoted to Africa and shrink the U.S. diplomatic presence in Canada. Politico obtained the document, and two current and one former official familiar with the matter verified the proposal has been circulated inside the department, but couldn't confirm when it was drafted, by whom, or how it pertained to the Trump administration's final reorganization plan. The contents of the document were earlier reported by the New York Times. A State Department spokesperson called the draft a fake document. Fake news! Fake news! The administration is planning to announce its reorganization plans as soon as Tuesday, which could come in the form of notices to the department, two U.S. officials said. The speed at which the document circulated among diplomats over the weekend, real or not, speaks to how on edge State Department officials are over the fate of their agency amid Trump's administration's move to drastically slash government bureaucracy. Diplomats sharing the draft with each other said they were puzzled by the logic undergirding it. One U.S. diplomat described the draft to Politico as bonkers crazy pants. The diplomat added, there's a lot that could be reformed, but you could give infinite monkeys infinite typewriters, and they would come up with something better than that. Let's repeat that. There's a lot that could be reformed, but you could give infinite monkeys infinite typewriters, and they would come up with something better than that. This is who MAGA voted into office. There are signs that the document is not the final plan for the State Department. It does not follow the standard format of an executive order, even from Donald Trump. Many pieces of it would violate or undermine laws that authorize the State Department's operations, and it is not logistically consistent with other communications sent to Congress from the administration detailing other revamps, such as what it plans to do with the leftovers of the United States Agency for International Development. Trump and his administration have made their intentions for the State Department clear. Politico reported last week that the administration is weighing asking Congress to slash the State Department and U.S. aid budgets by nearly half to $28.4 billion. The document calls for eliminating regional bureaus within the department and replacing them with 4 new diplomatic corps on Eurasia, the Middle East, Latin America, and the Indo-Pacific. Some of the most startling shifts outlined in the purported order address how the U.S. approaches Africa. Under changes proposed within it, much of the State Department's work on the region would be farmed out to the White House, and all non-essential embassies and consulates in sub-Saharan Africa would be closed by October 1st this year. A special envoy for African Affairs reporting directly to the National Security Council would replace the African Affairs Bureau. The plan would also see the U.S. significantly reduce the number of diplomats dedicated to managing U.S. relations with Canada, included by downscaling operations of the United States Embassy in Ottawa with a specialized team of less than 20 to work with the top diplomat there. Both moves have the potential to upend routine services for Americans abroad in those places, such as helping travelers with lost passports or registering births, but the plan makes no mention of how it would address that. The purported order would altogether eliminate the Policy Planning Bureau, traditionally a center of power in state departments of both Republicans and Democrats, as well as the Bureau of Conflict Stability Operations and the Bureau of Democracy, Human Rights, and Labor. People are going to have issues abroad. That's just what happens when you travel. So, what this is going to do is make things quite difficult for people. These people are not thinking past right now. They have no foresight, they have no planning structure. What is going on with these people? They are literally thinking that they could just cut all of these people like they have no clue what they do. They haven't researched anything. And that's what comes when you just get rid of all of the people that have been there and put in loyalists. They have no idea what they're doing, and it's creating a cluster F of major proportions, aka bonkers, crazy pants. All right, y'all, let me know what you think about this one. Join the conversation. Don't forget to like, comment, and share.